name is Mercedes, and I just finished dating with Football Wives, which is on VH1 every Sunday. We moved to a newer slot. I'm from Suriname, which is a tiny little country next to Brazil in South America.
Alright, so quickly, you're an actress,
Yes.
dancer, painter,
Yes.
designer,
Yes.
and a student.
Yes, a psychologist in the making.
Psychology is studying what specifically?
Marriage and family therapy.
Well, you got a full plate.
Yes.
How do you get it done?
I don't like going out. I don't really have the typical nightlife. So I'm the little hermit that commits to the things that I want to do. I get pleasure out of those things. I like going to school. I like sewing. I like designing clothes. I like painting. So to me, that's much more fun than going to the club. To me, a pleasurable outgoing day would be Barnes and Nobles. I'm a nerd.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know that.
Okay.
I don't do
Okay.
typical things.
Okay.
I was approached to be on the show about 9 weeks ago, a month ago. Actually, I graduated in May. I was approached in April about the show. That's the first time I heard about the show, and I was a little skeptical because I know how people criticize reality TV stars, and I know how people look at those typical reality TV shows. However, when I was approached about the show, I thought long and hard, and I felt that I had a story to tell, which was not the typical story. It was my choice not to be a wife. People could take it how they want, but I wanted to be the voice for women out there that want to make their own name, and not really live in anybody's shadow. I'm very stubborn with the way I was raised was to kind of make my own name and make my own money, and I think that had I stayed in that relationship, I would have been overshadowed.
Okay, what was this relationship?
I was an ex-girlfriend, a serious ex-girlfriend, of a star running back.
Who?
I can't say the name.
You can't say the name.
No, you know why I can't say the name?
Yeah, tell me why.
Because him and I no longer speak. We're not on bad terms. And because he's not here to defend himself, and contractually on the show I wasn't allowed to say his name, I chose to tell the producers that since I didn't tell him about the show, I felt it was nicer and the safest thing to do was not to disclose his name on this relationship. And it was a football player. I think a lot of women look at athletes as a lottery ticket, and I never was able to look at it that way. I'm very stubborn. I think that I was very skeptical because I've heard stories about football players and the headaches that come along with them. However, he was very different. He's a very good guy, and the relationship was great. It lasted for a while, and we've gotten pretty serious to the point where I had to consider either I was going to move to Dallas or he was going to have to move. And of course, because of him being on the team and having a contract, he couldn't leave. So, with that said, I think we started butting heads because long distance can be very frustrating. And slowly but surely, it was just a decision that was like, you know what, it's just not working. I think what the producers intended it to be is for me to rekindle the relationship. And I think that everything happens for a reason, and that door was already closed, so I didn't really feel like rekindling it. I was never kicked off the show, so I have to set the record straight. I was never kicked off. I decided to leave early. I didn't really want to rekindle anything, and I'm not a very confrontational, dramatic person. So because of that, I decided that I'd rather come back and start my semester in school here than stay another 2 or 3 weeks there to film something that I felt I did enough in the story I was trying to tell. I had lots of commitments as far as my fashion line and my schooling that I needed to return to LA, and production took longer than need be. I think they filmed for like 13 weeks instead of 8 weeks. I was told 8 weeks. So after my time, which is what I committed to, I felt that it was time for me to come back and take care of the stuff I needed to in LA. So
You're the secret weapon on the show. What
yes.
Is that because their plan was to hook you back up with the football player, or
yes, I think I'm the secret weapon of so they say, because I'm not what all these other women have in common. I'm not a football wife by choice. I think a lot more women could relate to me not being a football wife than they could relate to someone that's a football wife. And I think I'm much more grounded in the grind that I'm going through as a single woman to, you know, go through school and try to make my own name instead of having to live with that, you know, name and kind of have to uphold his name. I kind of want to do my own thing. And I think now, especially in 2010, there's more young women that want to do that. So I felt like that's why I want the show to show more of me. And the next episode, you'll get to see more of me. So keep watching.
Now, you're a young lady. We're not going to say the age.
Yes.
But how's it working with those old...
Oh, really, huh?
There is an age difference now.
Guess what, Jay? You trying to be slick and you gotta cut your words out and you're going to look like a bad guy. I don't have the responsibilities they have. I don't have any children. I don't have a football husband that I have to worry about every day that he plays, you know, every week that he plays on the field. And I think that in a way it made them feel a little bit more distant towards me. And I knew going in that there might have been the misconception of, was I really serious? You know, was I really a girlfriend? Was I a groupie? I knew all those things were gonna come, and we had those altercations, but I had to set everything straight. Like, look, I was approached to be on the show. I'm about my life. I'm not here to uplift my husband's name. I have nothing to cry about. I understand that they do, because I do understand that their life is much harder than people think often. But you know what? I think that they really couldn't relate to my life, which is why I wanted it to be on the show, because I'm, you know, living a life for Mercedes and not for anybody else at this moment. I think on the show is scripted. We never had to read any script. We were never told what to do on the show. Everything is real. Now, there are certain situations that I feel went too far. I personally don't think certain things should have went as far as they did. I do know that there was some tension between Pilar and the rest of the cast members. Pilar and I are still really good friends. Me and her got along throughout the show. And I respect all the women. I personally don't have any beef because I feel like it's not worth it to me. But yes, there was beef between, you know, or tension, I should say, between Pilar and some of the cast members.
Are you dating anyone now?
Yes, I am.
Who is it?
Why? No, it's nobody particular. My biggest passion is all the above, which is acting, psychology. I love psychology. So my therapy, I want to open my own clinic, and definitely my fashion line. Mercy Bell, which is the name of my fashion line, is my baby. It's what I put, you know, all my time into. Everything I wear on the show is Mercy Bell.
Okay.
So this upcoming episode on Sunday is going to be all my fashion wearing. And then my website where you can find my fashion is mercedesnelson.com. Right now I am also involved in some new production talks about my own show. It's involving one of my passions, so look forward to that. And then I am also involved in a promotion tour that's taking me to Vegas this weekend. I think it'll be great to get out there and spread the word and to really keep promoting the stuff that I want to be put out there.
Why are you so successful with what you're doing?
I definitely have to say my belief in God. I think that because I genuinely believe in God and because I genuinely care for people. It's not that I'm an angel, because I'm not, but I'm like the spokesperson for the underdog, because I used to be the underdog, and even on Football Wives sometimes I felt like the underdog, and I think that that's why I feel Mercedes is unique and different, and I'm putting Suriname on the map, which is my country, so I'm doing this for my city. Thanks so much to Bossip. I want everybody out there to check out Bossip.com, the best blog out there, and stay tuned for more of Mercedes Nelson. Thanks, Bossip.